went into it with no experience in television whatsoever, and made a tremendous number of mistakes for the first year. I mean, still make mistakes every year, but I think, but hopefully learning as we go and improving things. But we just didn't have any production experience, so we came in kind of knowing how we wanted to write it, but not knowing anything about the casting process, the editing process, working with visual effects, working with a production designer, all that stuff that you need to know. And it's been a steep learning curve.
They would get behind a project and they would give it a solid commitment.
We'd never produced anything for television before. We'd never produced anything for film or internet or anything. We'd written before, but we never produced. So when we went to George, probably it was probably like that bluff where you mistakenly think you have a straight and you actually don't. But we were so confident that I think we convinced George that, well, these guys seem like they really know what they're doing.
I said, I want it done. I want a faithful adaptation of the books. And they said, that's what we want to do.
Indeed. Indeed. Anyway, allow me to bring in my wonderful guests. Hello, everyone. This is Lord Captain Commander Dunn. We are returning to our stream on James Hibbard's interesting puff / behind-the-scenes piece, which is kind of a weird combination of incriminating and sycophantic. I don't know if there's ever been anything quite like this, and at least for something mainstream. Anyway, allow me to bring in my guests. First off, my co-host, Neph Champion.
Hello, everyone.
Always a pleasure, Neph. How are you doing?
Very good this afternoon. I'm just so annoyed.
Yeah. This probably isn't going to be that bad. Honestly, like, tomorrow's going to be more BS-ery than this. Because it's a dude fellatioing Joshua David Bellin for 30 minutes.
Oh my god. Ew.
Not literally, that would be hideous.
No, I know. It's just the image that puts in my head. Do not want.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy looks like, unfortunately, like this unfortunate man. I don't know whether he has actually had a stroke or he just kind of like the left half of his face is slightly frozen, but there's just kind of like, huh. Anyway, allow me to bring in the mongrel.
And now, I think it's time we gave that filthy, slobbering mongrel of yours his shot! Attack! Rapid fire flurry!
I swear to God, Don, if I had to remind you every 5 minutes I'm not a mongrel, I'd probably have to shoot you eventually.
Oh, come on. It's hilarious.
It is.
I am aware, but I will shoot you one of these days. Don't test my patience when it comes to calling me a mongrel.
Would you prefer mutt?
Slightly better.
Okay, the wolf, the horny wolf boy.
There we go. Both accurate and correct.
Wow, I'm glad that we've gotten to this point. Anyway, allow us to bring in the white dragon. Well, the two dragons. Allow us to bring in the two dragons.
Yale.
Ew. And And the other dragon, the black dragon, the Perion dragon.
Wow, that we see
welcome.
your priorities now. Wow, that's racist.
He identifies as he's got a black dragon avatar. I feel
I
okay
think
in saying
the fact you have to specify, I think, shows your colors.
the white dragon's a blue dragon. Does that mean I'm racist against blue people?
No.
Oh,
Because-
very funny.
He's racist against people who are dead, who suffocated or something.
But no. Like everybody here is. Like, wait, a dragon here is good.
Though if there are necrophiliacs anywhere, please repent and get your life in order. That's just creepy. Anyway, on that note, let's.
You underestimate the verdness of some of the humans.
Hey, what that means freaking Parthenex than necrophiliac.
Lovely. Anyway, on that note, allow us to bring in our friend.
Wow, I just remembered that was the really stupidest scene in the entire show.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Really?
How's that feel to be your intro, the dumbest scene in the entire show?
Well, I like it.
Well, that means that anyone that's slower than God is racist.
So I have internalized tall people misogyny or tall people racism. Lovely.
Maybe?
No, heightism.
I don't use the word racist too broadly.
Yeah, okay, so what's your height, then?
My height 6.
So everyone that's above 6, he hates you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn it.
Oh no, it really depends. Since Elizabeth Debicki is taller than me, and I'm just like, that is one tall glass of water right there.
No comment.
So what if you're like, so if
I'll
I'm
be
6'2", am I gonna be racist against, or is it 6'3" above? So I'll be safe.
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah,
Wow.
they
I'm
just
tall,
made.
but I'm not quite that tall.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
let's-
even break 6.
Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth.
You're 5'7".
Yeah, Elizabeth Debicki is. She's about 6'4". So when she wears heels, like she towers over most people around.
Wow.
I'm only about 5'8", so
Oh, wow.
I'm a short one here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so our resident geriatric is actually surprisingly short.
Well, I was.
He's
I
average.
was 5'8" for a while.
He's average. He's about average.
Yeah, about average.
My mom is tiny. She's 5'2". My dad's 6'2".
I'm in
So
my 50s if you view that as geriatric or not.
That all of it in my extended family are taller than my mother, even her younger brother.
Well, alrighty. So chapter 22 is Playing Dead. It's about Jon Snow. This shouldn't be too bad. I imagine that me, White Dragon, and Balerion will probably be calmly pointing out some plot holes because of the adaptation changes. So
Yeah, I mean, there's also some in terms of the logic of it, of Alistair Thorne.
Yeah,
letting in the wildlings and then killing, and then joining and murdering Jon because he let in the wildlings.
Well, you're a little late on that one, Allison, you fucking retard.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, that part is just really does not make any sense.
Yeah, bit of a plot hole there.
Yeah, but I think now that we've discussed it, I think that's the main one. I think everything else is okay. But that kind of is basically the crippling strike to the structure.
Well, creatively, it made sense to us.
Yeah, I forgot about it because the other things that came later were so much worse.
Yeah.
Or I'm waiting for season 7 and 8. That's what I'm waiting for.
Though also, the rest of season 5 was so bad that Jon's plot seemed like a welcome reprieve by comparison.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the king who doesn't show up in the season at all.
Oh yes, Bran the Broken.
Who? What?
Bran the Broken.
He's literally broken. He has fucking no fucking point.
Oh yeah. That I kind of forgot about that.
How dare you?
So, I need to just get somebody to like make me some MP4 clips of kind of forgot and creatively it made sense to us.
I can try.
Yeah.
I've got software that would allow me to do it. That's not YouTube.
It's mainly just because I don't want to do it.
Hashtag done lazy.
Oh no, I'm
It
not.
took me 5 minutes to make my
It takes me.
Halloween intro. Well, the one I gave you, not the one you picked.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, it takes me. My software takes me like 20 minutes per. So, alrighty.
I just download a video and put them in YouTube Studio.
That's what I do. That's why it takes
like
a long time.
Actually, it depends on how much time you're putting into it. So I think it's more of an internet thing.
yeah,
Probably.
that might be it.
Yeah.
Because I probably get done fast.
Yeah. So chapter 22, Playing Dead. So Dance of Dragons was really surprising because it had the death of Jon Snow. The Night Watch commander was assassinated, betrayed an assassination by his own men after he led thousands of wildlings toward the wall to protect them in the onset of winter. Just like Ned Stark, Jon Snow was killed because he stayed true to his humanity. That's not the case in the books, so I hope.
Will he ever elaborate on this, or is that always he going to do?
The books say.
Yeah, and
it's kind of just this isn't bad. It's just weird that they're kind of like the situation in the books is very different. Jon Snow gets killed because he decides to break his vows and go south because they're
help Stannis.
Yeah, that's the catalyst anyway.
Yeah, and it seems like Bowen Marsh has kind of been against Jon since Jump Street, and he's the ringleader, it seems. For some reason, he's crying while he kills Jon, but
I guess he didn't want to do it.
I don't want
he had to.
Yeah,
I don't want it.
You must.
I don't want it. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, but since Martin's readers did not yet know whether Jon was going to remain dead in the books, when it came times to stage the assassination in the season 5 finale, the show's producers decided to keep the character's season 6 resurrection a secret. Sounds simple, right? Yet convincing the world that the leading man on TV's most popular series was really gone required an elaborate 2-year deception that went to exorbitant lengths, even by Throne standards, and put Kit around the plug.
Wow, that was really absurd.
The people who have read the books know that Jon Snow is coming back.
No, they don't.
They don't?
Well,
no,
we don't, but it was a pretty good guess.
We are assuming that he's going to come back, but the last book that has ever been written in the mainline series ends with him dying.
Well, being stabbed.
I mean, that would be pretty awkward if they just kill him off.
So DM, we are reading a book about the behind-the-scenes stuff of Game of Thrones, and it's had some interesting revelations. Like they smuggled explosives illegally into Morocco, which remains the funniest reveal of this book.
That was dynamite.
And it's something we are never, ever going to let them live down.
Yeah,
never.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna make you forget.
I'm surprised they got away with it.
That revelation was dynamite.
They were going to get away with a lot more, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the first stage was planning the death scene. When he's stabbed by his men one after another, like Julius Caesar, how definitive should the character's fate appear? So Brian Cogman said this: "It seemed cheap to have it end with is he dead or isn't he? You could have done a Princess Bride thing. He's mostly dead, but the show had a precedent for the Lord of Light resurrecting a dead person before. Yeah, so the problem with this is basically it's like it's not really a surprise that Jon Snow is brought back to life when the same mechanics of him being brought back to life are the same as another character who's been brought back to life repeatedly. So it honestly even introduces more problems because Jon Snow doesn't have any adverse effects to being brought back to life.
Whereas the other person does.
Yeah, this guy loses his memories.
Well, Jon becomes really stupid after coming back to life.
Oh yeah, that is true.
That was his effect. His was that he just became stupid.
Yeah,
he unfortunately,
he became a spineless coward at the end too.
Unfortunately, I don't think that was I don't think that's part of the narrative. I just think that's the bad writing.
It's our headcanon, if anything.
No, it makes the most sense. It has to be the canon heading.
It's objectively true.
It is true that he gets dumber, but I think that's different. But I think that that
might be a problem with the writing.
Just the writing.
Yeah,
it's not intentional because the writers are stupid too.
Well,
that's right. Saying that it was responsible but gets the writers credit, and we don't want to give these people credit.
Yeah, it's kind of the difference between a Watsonian mistake and a Doyleist mistake. This is who here is aware of what a Doyleist mistake and a Watsonian mistake is?
No idea.
I've heard of.
I have an idea though.
I know who Watson and Doyle are.
Watsonian mistake is basically a mistake that is basically kind of like just explained by the fact that the narrator is somewhat limited and that Holmes explains it. But a Doyleist mistake is just Arthur Conan Doyle screwed up or made a mistake, or the author made a mistake. This is definitely like a series of Doyleist mistakes.
Narrator versus author.
Yeah. So, okay. So if we were going to kill him, we were going to really kill him. The decision was made. Was made to make it explicitly clear. If anyone asked if he's dead, saying he's dead was not really a lie. Dan Weiss, to anyone watching the scene, it's not ambiguous what's happened. His pupils dilate as the life leaves the body, which is apparently what happens. This isn't like, I'm not angry with this one. I'm just kind of curious as to how people would really. I didn't notice that.
Well, the thing is with this is that they're
these performances, these faces.
Well, not just that, but it's you've had someone killed in the show before, and you've had them resurrected. Once you resurrect Jon Snow, people are going to look back at that and go, "Oh, that's foreshadowing for what you did with Jon Snow."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I just mean like specifically the details of the pupil dilation. I didn't notice that. I don't know if you could really notice that, since you do get close, but I don't know if you get close enough to. You don't get a close-up shot of his eye. It's just his have
to CG that or something? Like, how would you?
I don't know. Maybe it's possible. I just think like
several times.
It's kind of it's a weird thing to draw attention to. I don't think it's bad.
Like build kit
It's not bad, but it's just kind of like interesting. You're bringing that up for technical. Anyway, so season 5 scripts were sent to the cast with Jon Snow dying in the final scene. The brothers retreat, leaving Jon to die in this. I alone on the ground, bleeding out. Read the script. The light of his eyes goes out as we fade on season 5. Okay, that actually. But this one, I don't. Was this written by Benioff or Weiss or Cogman?
All three.
I don't
think it combined strengths. We will make something not terrible.
Because with this, there's kind of always going to be the question of Benioff scripts don't look like scripts. Neither do Cogman's nor Weiss's. they look like bad, like meh movie pros.
I'm
Yeah,
better
we're
at
still reading
script
this.
writing than they are, and I've never taken a course in that because
Yeah.
conflict was looking pretty bare for a bit.
Yeah.
It's better now, though.
Yeah.
It's what I say. It's better just not take. Just sometimes user experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, the thing is like it's kind of like the intelligence versus wisdom argument. Wisdom is how you apply said intelligence. You can gain it by experience or learning. Sometimes I say it's better to really put yourself through the ringer for it.
Yeah. Yeah, Cogman's decent. He actually he's like by the technical definitions of a screenplay, he doesn't really write a screenplay because he writes the character's internal monologue.
Which
and
is weird.
tells the tells the actors how every little thing.
She is a bug.
Yeah, or
Why would you need to say that?
Or Jon and Sansa failed geography.
Yeah, they both.
Well, they kind of did.
Oh my god, how do you fail geography? That's one of the easiest classes to do.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're just
I like the last
they're insecure
one. I
and
like
they
the last
actually
one.
failed it.
Mm-hmm. What?
I like the last comment.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a normal sized man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when Harrington read these words, he thought the producers were really killing off his character, but he had been fooled into believing this fake scene was real before, back in season 1. He wasn't going to give the showrunners the satisfaction of calling them up all worried. Kit Harington, I never asked them anything, and I think they left me hanging for a bit just to see if I would ask.
The thing about that, though, is that if you're planning to kill a character and then revive them in the next season, you should tell them that, because then, they're not worrying where their next paycheck is coming from.
Another thing of this feels, I don't know if this is, this kind of feels like, so I don't know if Benioff, I don't know if this was neglect or not, since Kit Harington's an adult. He can take care of himself. But it's kind of just kind of indicative of it might be indicative of kind of Benioff kind of neglecting his actors. I don't know.
Oh, dude, grass is green.
My point is, if you're planning to resurrect a character after you kill them, you need to tell the actor in question so they don't go looking for another gig.
Yeah.
That's really basic.
Yeah, if only just to tell.
Well, I just had a thought. Like a kid just goes to another job and Benioff's like, "Oh shit."
It would have. It would have served them right if he'd done that.
It would be even funnier if Benioff's wife followed him.
And Jon Snow actually had to stay dead. Like they didn't recast him. It was like, oh well, shit.
Oh, we're gonna have to redo all the next seasons. We have to write them all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So young Griff, everybody. Oh wait.
Yeah.
So keeping the information from your audience is one thing. Keeping information from the actors themselves is a completely different problem.
That definitely is a trend. That would happen later in season 8 with Emilia Clarke and with Sophie Turner with the season 5 rape subplot.
It kind of happened. It kind of happened earlier too. Pardon me. With the remember that prank, the so-called prank chapter
of about Theon.
There was a whole glob of them.
Yeah.
There's a whole glob of these things.
I just remember that like he just like kind of just is kind of like I like poking the bear because like I find that funny, but I'm not going to do it in a job sense.
No.
Done.
No,
You're fired.
don't do that.
Just
You
kidding,
need
man.
to-
Well,
You need to keep your actors informed of what's actually going on so that they know, one, where their paycheck, they don't have to worry about their next paycheck, and two, so that they don't go looking for something else to do,
And
thinking that their job's done.
And if I'm poking the bear, I'm poking peers I would be poking peers or technically superiors. I'm not poking the people who work for or me in that manner.
I was reading this.
Yeah, no, because that
just leads to people like getting legit scared.
Yeah.
All right, done. I was reading this comment. I was like, what if David Benioff made a cartoon? Can you imagine the cinematography of it?
I'm imagining the Freddy Got Fingered cartoon.
No!
What? What the hell is that?
Oh, it's a cartoon segment of the movie.
I'm thinking more of the rotoscoping of
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Animated.
I don't think that's too high class. It has to be the Freddy Got Fingered Zebras in America
and it has to be
cartoon.
really terrible. And it has to be that modern, that really shitty modern animation.
Rotoscoping was.
I know. I'm saying that while the rotoscoping is bad, Zebras in America is worse.
And it has to be that really shitty modern fucking animation.
And it has
the United States ones. Where
the
it's
main
really
thing
shit.
is the main thing is the writing has to not make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Look,
Like,
especially
since like
why bother writing? Just don't do anything, really.
No, you write all the neat dialogue in the script, but you just convey it in their faces.
Yeah.
No one actually says anything. You just have a bunch of weird faces on screen.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
Some people can make those faces work. Most people cannot. That's the problem.
I think that the main problem isn't necessarily the caliber of actors. I think the problem is just that these people don't understand that the audience aren't reading their scripts and can't tell.
Yeah, we're not reading we're not reading A Song of Ice and Fire. We're not in the characters' heads. You need to put what was originally monologuing and thoughts into dialogue.
Yeah.
In order to convey the information.
Because we can't.
And honestly, honestly, this is really funny because I've a while back, the Dusty Wheel had I think a script doctor for the Wheel of Time show, and somebody asked, so how are they going to convey? Like, are they going to like put the internal monologue in the script notes? And she was like, no, that's bad screenwriting. We wouldn't do that.
These performances, these faces. That's how we'll do it.
Which made me laugh really hard. But anyway, we should probably keep going.
Either you need to put the internal monologue into dialogue, or you need to put it into the actions the characters make.
Newsflash: the audience can't see the scripts because they're not on the screen.
No,
yeah,
that's not true.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
If we wanted that, we would read the books.
And the thing is, there's no more books at this point. This is all original content.
Yeah, exactly.
It will never be.
So if this is original this is original content, then you need to put every bit of information that you possibly can into dialogue, because there is no original source for them to go to.
And the funniest part is the dialogue levels slowly decrease as the seasons go on,
Mhm.
which is
Can you
kind of
imagine if there was like a season 9? It's like only like
Like
5
no one
words.
says anything at all.
a silent,
No, it would be
a silent,
yeah.
a silent color movie.
No, it would just be Arya on a boat, just staring off into the distance,
I'm on a boat.
menacingly.
We're only a page in.
Maybe.
We're only a couple pages in. We should probably keep going.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. So, Kit Harington was with the whole cast doing the pessimistic thing, saying, "I really don't know that. I think this is it. I think I'm dead. It's been a good ride." They were like, "No, sod off. You're not." And then we started theorizing. Oh, the heinous word! Don't let the Star Wars the anti-Star Wars people, and don't let the Disney Star Wars people hear you say the theorizing.
Oh no!
What about
Oh
theorizing?
great!
That also irritates me. The fact that we were theorizing the whole time between like season 7 and 8, what was going to happen, what this and that, and then bugger all happens. It's like, fucking hell, why even bother?
Yeah.
Who said this stuff about what the Star Wars people hear you talk about theorizing? Who was that?
I'm just joking. That's me.
Round-headed person.
No, actually, that was also Ryan Johnson with the your Snoke theory sucks.
Your Snoke theory sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, like let's but yeah, that's just me being a facetious ass.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, true. The main point seemed that people seem to circle back to, and I agree with them on this, is why would there be this whole arc about his mother if that was not going to be relevant information because he died before figuring out? Yeah, good point. That is a very good point.
Hey, look, a good point. That's
Yeah.
one in like every 10 pages.
More foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except Benioff and Weiss don't seem to believe in
oh wait,
promises and payoffs. Just payoffs.
Payoffs? Where are those? Is that something you do? Is that something you eat?
They'll pay out something really stupid, like Mountain versus the fucking Hound.
Yeah. It promised.
Fucking meme.
It's a meme.
Yeah, I'm using Brandon
or acknowledging the fucking rowboat
vocabulary
meme.
for this.
Yeah.
But basically, the promise is the setup for something.
Do we have to hear a definition every time?
Well, yeah, because I think Brandon Sanderson's the only one that uses it.
I think that all authors, to a certain extent, use it. He's just codified it.
Okay. Well,
because George R. R. Martin does this in the first Game of Thrones book, where the first chapter you have is the White Walkers, and the rest of the book doesn't have that in it. But then, like near the end of the book, magic starts coming back. So kind of like he's saying, don't worry, this seems like it's medieval realism fan fiction that I'm writing, but just hang with me. So Owen
medieval
Teal.
realism, people get stabbed through plate armor. I'm so immersed.
Owen Teal, Alistair Thorne. I thought, I'm loving this because they're pushing my character. I thought they're either going to really invest in Thorne, he's going to take over Castle Black, or it will mean his end. I liked either of those options. I remember thinking,
don't bring that up. That will be addressed on its own stream.
Yeah. I remember thinking that I hope Jon was really dead, because if you play the card of the magic too much, then the credibility of the whole thing drops a little. That is true. Yeah. A few days into filming season 5, Kit Harington was working at Castle Black on set when David Benioff and Dan Weiss asked him to go for a walk. Oh dear.
Oh no, don't tell me they're gonna play another prank.
Oh
I don't
no.
think so. I don't think they're going to. I'm just unfortunately the image of the South Park Indiana Jones episode is playing in my head.
I'm not familiar.
I'm not familiar either.
It's kind of South Park making a joke of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas forcing themselves on Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones Deliverance style.
Oh, good God.
South Park is...
And that's why I don't watch South Park.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a miss too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Kit Harington. I was quite nervous. It could have been the walk that said, yeah, dude, listen, you're dead. You're not in the next season. Or you're going to take a season off, but you might be this or that. I didn't know if I'd be recast as a CGI wolf. I'd just be a voiceover, and I thought that would be really crap.
That would be actually interesting.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, or could be kind of cool.
Far more interesting what they actually ever did in the later season.
I don't want to.
Or I would be dead as a zombie guy, and that would be crap as well. I didn't know what.
Yeah, that would be kind of rubbish.
Yeah, that would be rubbish. Yeah. Checking over their shoulders, David said, "You are now going to know this. Me and Dan, we know this. About 3 of the producers know this, and George knows this. Now you're going to know this, and you can't tell anybody. Not your mom, not your dad, not your family, not anybody. You can't tell anyone." I'm like, okay. You are back next season. You are alive. Melisandre brings you back, and you've got a crap load to do next season. You have a really heavy season. Dan turned to Dave, and said, "He's going to tell Rose, isn't he?" So she was allowed to know.
Well, it's just, I can understand them saying can't tell your family if the family is known to be part of the audience, because you don't want that getting out. But if they're not part of the audience, then it shouldn't matter.
Well, I kind of think they don't want to let it out, and they're just like, he's totally going to tell his girlfriend. It's so funny. At first, Harrington was relieved and elated. Then reality set in. His castmates had seen him walking with the showrunners and would assume Jon Snow's death had been discussed. All of a sudden, Harrington had 2 acting jobs on Thrones. One where he was playing Jon Snow in front of the cameras, and the other when he was off stage playing a dejected actor. Kit Harington,
Well, it's just,
Some of the hoops they go
why?
through are really dumb.
Why does he have to play the dejected actor?
Because because nobody can know that he is going to come back the next season, because people might leak Twitter by accident.
You can always just say no comments to this kind of thing.
Could you pretend he had a great new gig he was going to go on?
Yeah.
But then someone might give that away too. But
nah, I don't know. It's... Well, okay, dang, what I'm seeing, like, Kit Harington's just, like, Jon Snow and Kit Harington are one and the same. Let me read this. I went back into the room with all the Night's Watch guys, going and knowing this thing. They had seen me go on the Wolf's Walk. I had to say, yeah, I'm dead. I had to lie to all my friends. I felt really wrong about it. I had to lie to a lot of close friends and cast members and crew I'm family with, and I don't like lying.
No,
that's pretty much Jon Snow.
No, it's one thing to keep your audience in the dark. It's another to keep all of your co-stars in the dark.
I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I don't think it matters.
No. Listen to the logic. If the co-stars are in on this, then they can help make sure that the information does not get out.
Well, the more people, the more risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with the White Dragon. Like, you don't need, like, it's kind of the same, like, mentality. So I think this is fine. I just think they're going to go through a whole lot of unnecessary effort. But the fact of not telling a lot of people, like, the more people who know, the more, like, chance it is that somebody is going to be an idiot and slip.
Then restrict their social media access.
How? I don't think you can. I don't know if you can do that.
No, you can. You can put in your contract that they can't talk about anything in the script on Twitter. Or
contracts
Instagram,
are not.
or
contracts
whatever.
A contract isn't like morally binding. Somebody could make a mistake.
Like, what about an NDA?
Yeah.
Even with a non-disclosure agreement, you might like slip up and say something dumb on Twitter, or by accident.
Yeah, I guess the real point is that I was always fairly sure that Jon was coming back. It was never.
It's not a big mystery. All the pieces are there. Like, you got a Red Priest. You've had resurrections happen early in the show. Doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, I never believed.
Yeah, there are some people who are going to figure it out. Let them figure it out. Let them feel smart.
Wait!
God,
They figured it out. We have to change everything now.
Yeah. So Christopher Hivju, Tarman Giantsbane. I was shocked when I read the scripts. I'm like, oh my gosh. The kid was like, this is my last year. I'm going to do different projects. He was so different. He was lying so good to everyone. Kit Harington. Sophie Turner, bless her, wrote me a really long letter about how much she loved working with me. That made me chuckle. She bought it hook, line, and sinker. That's actually really funny. That's really, really funny. This is actually funny. Okay, so Sophie Turner, he took me aside on a night out and was like, "Look, this is it. I'm done." And I think he genuinely thought that. I don't know if he was BSing me or not. He probably was, knowing him. Christopher Hivju. I remember Maisie was like, "Tell me, are you lying?" He said, "Sorry, I'm dead. I'm out of this. This is my last season." So I was very unsure. David Benioff, even Amelia called him, and he was keeping up the pretense. Kit Harington. Liam Cunningham didn't believe it, though. He told me to F off from the start.
Hell off the set.
For him.
Yeah.
You get the heck off the set. Get off the set. Get off the set.
Oh man, this is.
I wonder what their reactions were when he came back.
Well, we're probably about to find out.
Maisie just slaps fucking Kit. You fucking bastard! I thought you were out.
Yeah. So Liam Cunningham said, "Yeah, I told him to saw it right off. You don't need to tell me the truth, but saw it off. I just didn't see them being two Ned Starks. He was much too valuable. I never doubted for a moment he'd be back. Good on you." So when it came to film Jon Snow's murder, the deception continued on set. Even the finale's director, David Nutter, didn't know Jon was coming back. After wrapping the quote-unquote final scene, Harrington was put in a supremely awkward position of having to give a farewell speech to the cast and crew. Dang, that went through a lot of effort.
Yeah, they didn't need to do that.
Well,
yeah. But if they were going to do that, I think letting as little no people as possible would be the better way to do it.
Yeah, they went to. Yeah, I know some of the things that they did where they didn't. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, it's not. It's just for the end of season 5. It's not for season 6. And I know they might bring this up later, but I know that one thing they did was they just put Lord Commander on Kit Harington's trailer, as well as in script notes just put LC for Jon to kind of keep the fact that he was going to come back a secret from script leaks and spy photos. So
yeah, some of the security got really insane during the later seasons, like a little absurd.
Yeah.
Like when you film entire seedings with the Night King and the Giants in King's Landing, which also upsets me and just in general, because knowing that we could have had something better. But yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, what can you do? Yeah. It's weird. Genuinely, no one knew at the end of the season," said Kit Harington. They'd all been told I was dead. David Nutter told the crew, "This is Kit's last season, so I had to do a fake goodbye speech. I couldn't do a big week beat. I love you guys. This has been amazing." I said, "It's been great, guys. Thank you." And I got the F out.
He probably couldn't keep a straight face if he would have actually tried.
Probably. So I gave the game away there a bit. Some of them bought it, some of them didn't.
I mean, that's what I would do. I'm like, I know something you don't.
I know something you don't know.
I know something you don't know. Screw you. Screw you.
Yeah. David
I
Nutter.
like playing that game.
David Nutter, he told the crew how much he cared about them and how much he would miss them, how this was really his first major job as an actor, and he gained so many relationships and friends. He said how much he cared about them, how that part of his life would now be an empty part. It was really powerful. And I think that's actually really nice to like David Nutter's saying like, yeah, he gave us a really good speak, and Kit Harington's actually being really modest. I think like it's kind of like he was perfect casting to play Jon Snow because he kind of already is Jon Snow.
Unfortunately, he turned into a fucking brainless Muppet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't even like the Muppets to begin with.
Oh, actually, let me rephrase that. A whipped dog.
That works. Oh, well, considering we have a whipped dog in our presence.
You're being kind of mean to dogs now.
Yeah, I guess he can relate.
Yeah.
No. I can't relate to that guy. He's far too whipped. Like I think.
Well,
Neph,
You do know we're talking about you.
Yes,
right,
I am
Wolf?
aware.
You are.
You need to whip him a couple more times. Today needs to be Jon Snow.
Yeah, no. You have to step on the whip. No. If I can't compare to that, me and Dad, we can't compare. He's too whipped. He has no individuality.
How many lashes do you need?
Movies here, so
I have a personality, mind you. I don't want it.
That reminds me. I need to queue up a few of those.
Oh no, please! Me and Anomaly died the last time we heard that word spoken out loud.
School of Movies.
No, we were on the Game of Thrones season 8 of episode 5. You were there.
Yeah.
Remember when he was like, "You McQueen," and we fucking died because it's such a meme.
Yeah. She's McQueen.
It's like if you were to compare me and Jon Snow,
I don't want it.
Far more free.
McQueen.
Yeah. Kit Harington, it was like being at your own funeral. It was awful. It was the worst acting I've ever done, and that's saying something. After the finale was shot, he decided there were a few people that he felt morally obligated to let in the secret. When an actor leaves a TV show, his career can move on, can impact many other people in their orbit. Kit Harington, at first I thought it was fun. This would be a fun game. The more it went on, the more I felt like I was betraying people. So I end up letting people in slowly because you're saying to your friends and family is I'm out of a job next year and I'm looking for new work. It's like telling your mom and dad financially, this is where the money stops from Thrones. So my mom, dad, and brother, I told what the deal was. I'm still in Thrones, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of a weird life to put yourself in.
And also he actually got pulled over for a speeding ticket one time, and while this was happening, and the police officer said, we can do this one or two ways. I can take you in and write you a ticket, or you can tell me if you're really dead. And Kit Harington said, "Yep, I'm not dead." And he's like, "As you were, Lord Commander." As you were, Lord Commander. Like he actually said, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or something like that. And so and it's become a meme now where it's just like, and the police officer just said, "As you were, Lord Commander," and just went back to his car and let Kit Harington go. That was all.
Yeah, that's amusing, although it's also kind of extortionist too.
Yeah.
Not to mention, how do you know the police officer won't tell all his buddies in the police? And
Guys, Jon Snow ain't dead.
Although the whole premise of this is kind of ridiculous because, I mean, we guessed it already, so.
Yeah. So, well, is like you just ask him, "Are you dead or not?" And he's like, "No, I'm not dead." As your Lord Commander.
it's so funny.
It is very, very amusing, and like I imagine that officer is like having like a good chuckle at his precinct or wherever he's watching that interview.
Yeah.
So Harrington's inner circle included some of the actors playing his Night's Watch brothers. Kit Harington. Some of the a lot of storylines revolve around Jon. He's a central figure. If you're trying to other people whose storylines depend on yours saying I'm not in it, you're telling them they're not in it too, and I wasn't comfortable with that. Are you saying we're not coming back to the wall? I had to be honest with some people who are friends and say it's not what it seems. I can't tell you what it is, but it's not what it seems. They weren't prying, but at the same time, this is people's jobs that they love. When the finale aired in 2015 of June, a new phase of the Jon Snow ruse began. Until then, the producers and Harington only had to keep up the character's return a secret from the Throne's cast and crew. Now, somehow, they had to keep it a secret from the world.
No, it's like just.
They're very
when
big
people
fans.
Ask about that, you say no comment. You don't have to do anything elaborate.
Well, I think if you say no comment, that is a confirmation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, that means you don't want to say anything.
Yeah, that's kind of a detriment.
Yeah, but sometimes you can. There's just a few times where you're like, "You're gonna say that? Okay, I'm gonna assume that you said yeah."
It's like a video game company.
But
Are you are you making this game or not? And you're like, I can't comment. And like, oh, so you are making the thing. Because if they weren't making it, you would just say no.
No comment is you can let people think what they want. And if some people put together the dots that yes, you are coming back because you're getting revived, then that's okay.
It's not that big.
I think in this case, people are going to just kind of like if they ask, "Is Jon Snow coming back?" and they say no comment, that's as good as a yes.
That's still keeping your mouth shut, though. That's my point.
I know, but like, yeah, synonymous is like guilt. Like, I'm guilty. You're correct. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I absolutely did not do this. He murdered her. No comment. Yep,
no
he's
comment.
Guilty.
Well, and I think like it was easier for that. I think because I think like in this case, like people like not even that, like they're just like because David Benioff is a terrible liar and has obvious tells when you're looking at him, but he kind of distracts people because he's got a like nice voice. But I think that they achieved their aim. It was a big surprise when Jon Snow came back for a lot of people. For a lot of people, at least like it was a surprise for a lot of normies, and that was
that was me back in the day. I was one of those people.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
And I only came into Game of Thrones like around season 7, so I have no comment.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what a bad time to start.
I know.
Yeah. So, Mike Lombardo, it's one thing for the producers to ask to keep the characters' return a secret, hypothetically, before the world experiences. You go, okay, we can do with that. We've killed off main characters in other shows. But the death of Jon Snow resonated. I wasn't in a meeting at a dinner party without people asking me about Jon Snow. It was very challenging to navigate the landscape, to be honest and forthright with friends and people I respect who are desperate to hope or hear that Jon Snow might be coming back.
Okay, so no comment won't work, but how about I can't say.
Well,
because they have asked me not to.
Well, the thing is, so in this case, if he just says he's dead, like that seems like pretty straightforward. It's just like, oh, okay, based on like the information I've been provided with this season. If you say I can't say, that means that that person's going to come back.
It's very telling.
It's kind of like you just
Or,
have
you could redirect to a different topic and just avoid it altogether.
But then it's kind of the same thing. Because why are you trying to change the subject? Oh, I get it. You're trying to keep a secret.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of like, it's a little, I will agree that it's a tiny bit excessive and ridiculous.
Yeah, but if you were going to do it, I think that's kind of how you would do it.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing. It's just kind of like, this is kind of, it's just kind of standard. This is kind of just standard practice.
I mean, like, think about the MCU and all that.
Yeah, there was a lot of things like saying like, please don't spoil the end game. And thankfully, like, people did not, people didn't, unlike Star Wars or Game of Thrones, as far as I know, there weren't wide circulations of leaks, of one-to-one accurate leaked scripts.
It's probably because it wasn't shit. Or it was really...
That's not really saying a whole lot. It's there in the end game at the end of the day. It's like, meh.
Well, that's the thing.
The thing is that the MCU had much better continuity than Star Wars did. And people were just... Star Wars was shit at that point. And nobody cared about spoilers or not.
And so was the MCU.
Well, I mean, like, people inside the production leaked accurate one-to-one scripts with Game of Thrones.
That's for all that security.
Yeah. So, like, it just kind of seemed, and like, same thing with Rise of Skywalker, where it was just like everything in the leaks was true.
It's true.
That either required somebody inside of the production to leak them, not just somebody hacking. But yeah. So let's just keep going. At the Television Critics Association press tour in Beverly Hills that summer, Lombardo was put in the uncomfortable position of maintaining the deception while on stage at a media report facing 150 reporters. A critic asked if Jon Snow was really dead, but not if the character was coming back. Liam Cunningham. Everyone sodding ass. What's up with all the swearing in these quotes? Dang.
That's one of the reasons why I do not like Game of Thrones. Too much dirty language.
So, have you heard the words an F word in this interview?
Well, it's just like,
I know what Game of Thrones because someone.
It's surprising that like it's just surprising to me that like I'm fine with foul language. I don't care anymore at this point. I've watched way too much Nostalgia Critic. But
sometimes it doesn't help. Sometimes you just can't help yourself, and one eventually slips out.
I used to be so shocked that people murder each other, but then I watched Cinematic Venom, and I'm like,
I was
cinematic. Oh yeah, we need to watch. Oh yeah, that needs to be our.
No! I'm sorry. Forgive me, please. I don't. No.
There is no forgiveness.
No reason for this. For no reason. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Can we torture him now?
I guess like it's not just the British Neph. It's everybody drops the F-bomb in every single, like, it seems like it's almost every single page there's an F-bomb dropped. So it's just like makes this seem like really
there's curses everywhere. You cannot.
Yeah, it's just surprising to me that it just makes it seem really unprofessional.
English is safe.
Yeah.
Color me shocked.
Yeah. So Liam Cunningham, everyone sodding asked the wrong question. Is Jon Snow dead? And it's like, yeah, he's dead. He died. Michael Lombardo, I was enormously relieved. That's the answer I gave. He's dead. And then when we pick up in season 6, he's really dead. David Nutter, I was at a photo opportunity with President Obama at sitcom director Chuck Lorre's house after the finale aired. Obama turned to me and asked, "You didn't kill Jon Snow, did you?" I said, "Jon Snow's deader than dead." The cast and crew were officially let in on the secret once scripts were sent out for season 6. But how could Harrington work on a TV set for months, often outdoors, without his return being revealed to the public? David Benioff. Jon Snow never appeared in any of the season 6 scripts. It was now LC, standing for Lord Commander. Kit Harington. No one was allowed to say Jon Snow on set, ever. Everyone had to refer to me as LC.
All right, that's a little much. Okay.
Yeah, that's oh my
That is
gosh.
a
This
bit
is-
much.
oh my gosh. This
I don't know why that's so funny.
this one's oh man, this one is oh man, this one this is hilarious. Sharif Van Houten, there were so many jokes about his code names. Some people made it into Little Clit.
What the? Yeah.
I just.
Eh,
Oh, good.
moving on. I don't really care.
Yes, move on.
You can take it or leave it.
Yeah. I feel like that requires showing you guys.
Oh.
No porn, please.
Some people will call it a
Oh, now we're banned. Damn it.
So
Racist.
that's just your
Racism.
opinion. That's just your opinion.
Oh my god.
Well, it's
You know,
more like
everything is subjective. You know that.
well, technically in this case, it's
so hence,
sexism.
hence racism is subjective. So
Yeah.
Oh, good.
it can't
gosh.
exist.
Stop it, please.
Yes. We cracked the code, everybody. We're safe.
In that case, I can use all the vampire slurs I know.
Okay.
In
So
fact,
Bernard
nothing means anything anymore, so we can just say whatever because it's all subjective. So hey,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go and
Yeah, I can. I can say.
yeah.
I can. Yeah, I can apparently because racism is subjective. We can all say the N word or with a hard R freely.
Oh my, and we're
I can just murder everyone because life and death are subjective.
Oh,
We're terrible people, but that's why.
Hey, you see
people
that
watch
school
us.
over there? Want to see a magic trick? Sorry, nothing. It's a suggestion. Doesn't matter.
You want to have a magic trick? How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil.
I gotta say one real quick. The first 3 letters are N I G.
Enough of that.
Nigeria.
And the stream's down.
Enough of that.
Yeah, enough.
The country Niger.
We have some limitations.
But that's subjective.
Yeah, all limitations are subjective, but we have our limits.
High hole, please.
It's over 9,000.
Yeah. So Bernadette Caulfield, there were a couple of us in a meeting, and David Benioff said when LC goes to, why am I using that? I know who he is. We created our own world, our own worlds of hiding from ourselves. That's kind of funny, actually.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Yeah. So, and Kit Harington was encouraged to stay hidden as much as possible while filming in Belfast. Liam Cunningham. Kit wasn't able to do anything. It was a nightmare for him. Kit Harington. I was put in a different apartment instead of the cast hotel, but I'd go stir crazy if I stayed in all the time. I went out for meals with the cast. It's not life or death. Charlize Van Houten. It was dangerous to have dinner with Kit anywhere. The guy has to eat, but we tried to hide him. Set security was also ramped up, and one.
Fuck.
No, I'm like, I don't care about the Mandalorian. I think like Gina Carano made a little bit of a not terribly, like, even for me, not terribly smart metaphor, but I don't think she deserved to get fired over it.
I don't really care.
I don't care. Like, I don't think the Mandalorian's that good, even from season 1, and I've refused to see season. I have not seen season.
I've seen like 3 episodes of season 1, and they're not. It's like,
Really, everybody's fucking retarded. Like all the bad guys are really dumb. It's like what rags say all the time. If you ever watch EFAP, like how can your good guys look so good if like all the enemies are fucking toddlers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's keep going. So security was ramped up, but one paparazzo got a photo of Harrington filming during the Battle of the Bastards. Benioff, honestly, we were hoping the finale would air and we'd get a few weeks of uncertainty after it. Out of it. The fact that it went on as long as it did was a pleasant surprise. Dan Weiss, if you looked online, you could see Kit in a field with a sword in his hand, surrounded by 300 extras, and you're going to say he's probably not dead, unless it's a weirdly extensive flashback sequence to a battle Jon was never in. But the vast majority of people don't troll around online looking for things that are going to screw up their viewing experience. True. That is true. There was, however, a second matter that needed to be handled. Before season 6 began filming, Harrington appeared on Late Night with Seth Meyers, where he was playfully gripped?
Oh no, is that sexually oriented?
About always having to film on sets in Northern Ireland instead of, say, the warmer climates of Croatia and Spain, like many of the other cast members. Asked if he would tell what he would tell a traveler going to Belfast, Harrington replied, "It's wonderful for 2 or 3 days." And he joked the city was as a wonderfully depressing tourist board. Then he dug deeper. They celebrate 3 things: having the most bombed hotel in Europe, which is great. They built the Titanic, which is a ship that sunk on its maiden voyage. And now they have Game of Thrones, the most depressing TV show in history.
Sorry about that.
Oh, can you run that last sentence by me again?
Now Belfast has Game of Thrones, the most depressing TV show in history.
It is the most depressing TV show in history to this date because it was shit at the end and it was still depressing.
The other 2 things were the Titanic and what was the other one?
The most bombed hotel in Europe.
Most bombed hotel and Game of Thrones, which kind of turned into a bomb. So there we are.
It just didn't go off on a hotel, unfortunately. No, sorry, take it back off.
Okay, guys, what did I miss?
I said that without thinking. Oh, here, well, no,
nothing really that bad.
Okay, good. I was all the way
Titanic again.
It's kind of Let's just keep going. Harrington was far from alone when it came from envying the crew members of the show's cast and crew working in the Spain and Croatia sets, while filming was far easier and the after parties were more lively. Still, Harrington's interview didn't go over well with the show's fiercely proud Northern Ireland crew. It's funny. Kit Harrington, I'm kind of a bumbling English buffoon. I put myself down to be pessimistic about a situation. That's something that I can improve on. But on a talk show, you walk out and own the situation. This is me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a natural salesman. I tend to put things down. Yep. Kit Harington's just Jon Snow, and I think he's going to be playing Jon Snow for the rest of his life because that's kind of who he is.
My question is it post season 5 Jon Snow?
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Can I do a order for Starbucks, sir? I don't want it.
Bernard Caulfield, Kit did not mean anything by it. It was a talk show setup, and tell us a funny story about what it's like being in Belfast. Is it the most cosmopolitan city in the world? It's not London, but we all loved it, and we love the people of Belfast, and there are many people in their city. When it's dissed, it's like a screw you. So as soon as that aired, I'm like, we need to show Belfast that we love them. So Caulfield had t-shirts made for the crew that declared, "You know crap all Jon Snow." That's actually funny.
Gotta keep that meme going, don't they?
Yeah. On one side, and then on one side, and then GOT loves Belfast on the other, which is funny. Bernard Caulfield, the crew got over it. Kid has hung out around Belfast more than anyone else and really loves staying in the town. So Jon Snow was coming back to life. But when exactly? The writers debated how long they should keep him dead before the inevitable resurrection, using her often unreliable powers granted through the Lord of Light. Dave Hill said, there was a lot of talk of putting the resurrection at the end of the first episode of season 6 because that's a good premiere ender, but Brian made a good point that we really want to milk Jon Snow's death, otherwise he's only been dead for 50 minutes. At the same time, his body would start to decompose, so story-wise, we had a lot of pressing actions that took place with him that season, so we didn't want him just lying on the table for 3 episodes. Plus, Kit probably would have murdered us. Kit Harington, it was such an easy 2 episodes. I loved it. I'm in a warm room, which was unusual for me. I'm lying down for a week's worth of shooting, though I actually fall asleep and woke up in the middle of a scene. You know how terrifying it is when you wake up when you don't know where you are? Imagine waking up in Game of Thrones world. It's like a nightmare. I would honestly agree with that.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's a show idea. An actor wakes up in their world that they're trying to be a character of.
Or just somebody... No, have an isekai where somebody is thrown into thrown into Westeros, a Westeros-style grimdark universe.
David Benioff, throw him in there.
Yeah.
No, that would be an unlikable protagonist, and you would root for him to die really quickly.
Exactly, you fucking gimlet.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
Judd, okay.
no. We could put him as the
Antagonist.
No.
The kind of forgottenness.
Too stupid to be the antagonist.
No. Well,
What about that one character that gets killed really early? Like immediately?
No. Fate Extra starts this way.
Oh,
where
No, David Benioff will be a beginning character.
Let Neph talk.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, Neph.
And you end up actually being a different character.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Essentially, he's who you start off with, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Oh, and do it with a laugh track. Have a laugh track when Benioff dies.
No, not redo of Healer. Redo of Healer is
Oh, you're about. Oh, this is kind of this bit's really, really funny.
Oh wait! Oh, it's too stupid to be the antagonist. I think I get it now.
Yeah. It's like, how do you have any tension if David Benioff is your antagonist?
Oh yeah. No. Oh, I get it. Because Kiaru's plan is stupid.
Yeah, he's like one of those. David Benioff would be one of those people who die in the prologue or the end chapters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy Pedezzo, we knew something had happened there. It was quite funny. Kit Harington, I also had to lay buck naked on the table. It's very weird, like a teenage boy's wet dream. You're lying there naked and Shirley Svenhound is watching you.
Oh, man.
Which is funny because Shirley Svenhound, good-looking lady. Very, 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 very lovely. And now this is really, really funny. Sharice Van Houten, it took forever to resurrect him. Forever. It was such an important scene. We shot from so many angles. I watched Little Clit's body 50 times.
Oh, no.
That is so...
What did you watch LC do again?
Little Clits. Wow.
I know that part, but what did she watch? Him or it?
I finally put two together. Holy shit! It took me forever.
Really, you didn't get what the little clip meant?
No, I wasn't paying attention. I guess I kind of forgot.
Oh, it's just like there would be a lot of people who'd be jealous of me, including my mother and sister. Oh man, I was joking about that. If only my mother could see this. Eddie loved that. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. This is actually kind of enjoyable. Yeah.
Certainly. Well, when you put the bar so low as like the last stream about that one crazy person, yeah, this is better in some sense.
Oh,
You
excited for? Well, I don't know if you want to be on tomorrow for us versus story and cinema, Jurassic Park and feminism.
Right. Wait, I thought we got past that book.
part.
Oh no, we're watching a video in which it's quoted liberally.
Oh no. Well, I was there when we were reading it, so I might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear God,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some alcohol for that one.
Jeremy Pedeswa. It was important.
Well, go to your local liquor store, pick up a 6-pack.
It's important to me that
enough.
up to last second, you don't really know if he's going to come back to life or not. Seen as kind of a protected tension within it, though this long ceremony, whether it's going to work or not, is up in the air. There were people there who are doubting Melisandre. She's doubting herself. Is this going to show the limits of her powers? Charisse and Houghton. I was going through a difficult time in my private life. It was really hard. It was hard to remember my lines in Valyrian. I made up the lines at some point, just putting letters behind each other. Okay. Eventually, the character Melisandre gave up. The sorceress and Sir Davos left the room. Suddenly, Jon Snow returned to life with a shocked gasp. Jeremy Pedeswa. It was a combination of him like a baby being reborn and a drowning person coming up out of the water for air. Charisse and Houghton. I brought Jon Snow back to life, and all of a sudden fans went from die witch die to will you marry me. It's a huge such a huge difference from being a complete bad guy to America's sweetheart. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Funny. She is really funny.
Especially that little gag she did at the birthday party or something. I forgot what it was. That it was like that little short clip thing.
I don't know.
You know that little dinner party thing they did? It was like a little recorded thing, skit.
I think was it like the naming the kid thing?
Yeah.
So Jeremy Pedeswa, watching people on YouTube react to the scene was one of the more satisfying things I've experienced. People were jumping out of their chair, screaming and flipping out. Jon Snow then executed his traitors would-be assassins and quit the Night's Watch. He was
Becca's asking permission if they will be allowed to die in a prologue, if she could steal it and use it.
Oh, go for it. I've already killed David Benioff in the middle of Blood of the Dragon, so...
If I ever create David Benioff character, he's gonna get killed. I'm gonna have a goblin just kill him. He's that pathetic.
I imagine that people will find, especially our listeners, will find Blood of the Dragon very satisfying because both Movie Bob and D&D die.
Blood of the Dragon sounds very Game of Thronesy. Very George R. Martin-y.
Yeah. Yeah, and... Yeah.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of common, like across multiple things, so I don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. Okay, so Kit Harington, Jon Snow was done with it. He's in the other side, what it's like, comes back and realizes he needs to live his life and get out of here. This place betrayed me and everything I stood for has changed. He's also had to kill a child, and that's what really does it. He kills all.
Yeah, everything he stood for did change. He fucking didn't give a shit anymore. Just became a fucking whipped dog.
Yeah, he can't see the point of being up there anymore. At the heart of it, he knows by staying at the wall he can't help the kingdoms. I'm going to die here if I stay here. And I'm going to die very quickly. Then he gets brought back to a different mission, and that's the end of the chapter.
Thank God.
That was quick. Shall we read a second chapter, or shall we?
Yeah, I mean, we hardly did anything with this book. We're only an hour in. Maybe like another 30 minutes. I don't know.
Let's see. Let me see. How long is this one? The pack survives. Okay, so... Okay, it took us an hour to read 11 pages. This one's 13 pages, so we should be able to get through it pretty quickly.
Okay.
What's this chapter, the next chapter coming up?
It's called The Pack Survives. I think it's about Arya, and it's about Arya.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Okay, this is
Oh, they're gonna fanboy over Arya now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do that because that's usually reserved for commentaries. They haven't fanboyed. They have fanboyed, but not like as much as they do in, say, their commentaries. Okay, so if season 5 had the darkest storylines for Game of Thrones. The next year was the most triumphant. Season 6 depicted a succession of victories for Starks, Targaryens, and Lannisters alike. The Starks defeated Ramsay. Jon and Sansa defeated Ramsay. Arya broke free of the repressive House of Black and White. Bran became the Three-Eyed Raven. That's not a good thing.
And Daenerys somehow regained control of her dragons. Somehow.
Yeah. Daenerys ditched Meereen and set sail for Westeros. Cersei crushed the Faith Militant. Everyone gained personal and political power as the show edged toward its planned final 2 seasons.
No, because they wanted to only do 1 season, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would have wanted to see out of morbid curiosity if they were trying to shove season 8 and 7 to 1 season.
Yeah. In Braavos, Arya was locked in a battle of wits with the Waif, where she learned mystical skills of becoming assassin with the Faithless Men in order to avenge her loved ones. And yet,
I like how they're trying to make Arya this super duper assassin, but the not the Faith but the Faceless Men are just people who disguise themselves as other people and make it look like accidents, not these super fantasy ninja bullshit.
Oh, and one thing, did you just say battle of wits with the Waif?
Yep.
What battle of wits with the Waif?
I guess.
I was mostly just Arya just surviving a gut wound and doing flips and shit.
Or like getting hit with a stick.
Getting hit with a stick. Well,
yeah.
I'm probably not weak enough to get it. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, it's probably like I just love it just makes me think of in Science Fair there's a joke about our 2 agents in America are so dumb that they've been caught by the Americans. What will they what will they do to Drupsi and Versk? They will hang them by their ears and poke them with sticks. He had no idea really what was going to happen. It was what he would have done if he had caught them.
Wait, and this is what again?
Science Fair. It's probably the most hilarious book I've ever read in my life. Okay. Yeah, Arya did not rebel. Arya rebelled against the attempts to make her sever ties with her past and become no one. I don't think she ever believed that she could give up everything. She tried. She really tried, said Williams. As part of her training, she was temporarily blinded, an effect that presented a real-life challenge for Williams. While the production could have used CGI to cloud Arya's eyes, the actress, just as she'd opted for a tougher decision to play her character left-handed, volunteered for a less expensive and more convincing method of wearing thick, full-eye contact lenses.
Wow. That's on you, I guess.
That's commitment. That's impressive. Basically, so essentially, they just put clear, thick. She was actually when Maisie Williams is swinging things around, she's very much method acting.
Well, she literally couldn't see a thing.
No, I was like, okay, good for you, Maisie. Good for you.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad it all went in the waste in the end.
Oh, here's this bit. Maisie Williams. Then I think that this clip is warranted for what's about to come up next. Let me find it.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Anticipation is killing me. Oh, I'm already dead. Never mind.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Killing me.
Let me see. It's this one.
I immediately regret this decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you fall in a lake or something?
No, then I realized that they were the most painful things ever. I hate saying that because I hate seeing people complain. Hearing about Jennifer Lawrence and her thick blue body paint for playing Mystique in X-Men. remember thinking, that can't hurt. Now I'm like, holy crap, I'm sorry I ever felt like that, because these little things in your eyes are so thick, and they're the most painful thing ever. I didn't anticipate they'd get so sore after such little time. Ow.
Well, you wanted to mess with that kid.
I respect Maisie Williams' physicality quite a bit. She is a very she's a very, very good little actress, but I don't know if she's ever really going to get out of the playing Arya typecasting. Kind of like Mara Williams could never really get out of playing characters like Matilda Eldens, or the little girl in Miracle on 13th Street.
Yeah, towards the end, she was
It really
Courtly.
sucks. I mean, they really get all these great actors and all these great people. Even child actors were really decent and good, and they really fuck it up in the end, didn't they?
Yeah, towards the end, she was playing Arya, playing Maisie, but that wasn't really her fault.
Yeah,
It's being written that way.
Yeah. Williams and Marcy, the lady playing the wife, had a lot of sparring scenes as part of the training, which fostered some behind-the-scenes competitiveness. Maisie Williams, we spurred each other on. I had a bit of pride. I'd done some sword fighting before, but she had to be better than me. And every time she'd be getting it right and I'd be getting it wrong, I'm like, hang on, I'm going to lose, but Arya still needs to be good. And every time I was doing well, she was like, yeah, but I have to look the best. It was a healthy way to train. Okay. Jeremy Pedeswa. They're both young and agile and very athletic. For Maisie, she's meant to be doing it blind. She was even though she is blind, because she's meant to be doing it blind, she was absolutely remarkable and tireless about making it look right. Well, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, from interviews, like, she's a very funny person, and like, I don't think it's going to be as bad, because by virtue of the fact that the people running it actually have credentials. And they are mega fans. Like, the guys making it are mega fans. I know that a lot of people really freaking hate season 2 of The Boys. And yes, season 2 of The Boys has a lot of problems.
The Amazon series I'm really concerned is the fucking Lord of the Rings one.
Oh yeah, I have no faith in that one.
That's going to be wrought.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it is.
Because
it's sad,
like,
because now they're gonna Star Wars fucking Lord of the Rings now.
Oh God, no.
Well, no, it's worse. Like, just from the behind the scenes stories, like, they fired their writing staff. They're rewriting a lot of the series. Nobody really knows what's going on. The Tolkien expert is gone.
Wait, the Tolkien expert is gone? If the Tolkien expert is gone, then it's going to go down into the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I first heard of a Lord of the Rings Amazon series, I thought, like, oh, cool, we could do the First Age. I like to see that one.
Yeah,
and they've hired an intimacy coordinator because
why? There is nothing in those books that would require an intimacy coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're trying to Game of Thrones fucking Lord of the Rings for some reason.
Lord of the Rings is something completely different.
Yes, it's completely different.
Yeah. And honestly, like, the nice thing is, like, the nice thing is there is an actual, like, with Wheel of Time, there is a book expert who's a producer on screen that that if somebody suggests a dumb change, like, instead of having, like, wolves having bears and having one of the main characters talk to bears instead of wolves, she will glare at that person and say no.
They needed that for the person who said, why don't we make Starks fall into a romance instead of an honor thing?
Yeah.
David Perion?
I think that, like, it's not. I'm less angry about. I think that one's, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important, and it's just like, it's okay. It's like it's
compared
less,
to every other bullcrap decision they made, the Red Wedding is far from them.
yeah. And I'll say, like,
if that were the worst thing, we'd be sitting pretty.
yeah, since like it's just like it's the cost of love instead of honor, which is weird because themes are for 8th grade book reports. Like,
Yeah, don't expect consistency with these two.
Yeah, don't.
yeah. So Arya and the waif's increasingly combative relationship came to a head when Arya refused to carry out an assassination. The result was an intense chase scene through the Braavosi streets that ended with Arya getting repeatedly stabbed. No, it began with Arya getting repeatedly stabbed.
And then she
Wow,
runs through
how
the
do you
entire
fuck
city.
that up so bad?
She falls down several stairs, and then she falls into the canal. And
Oh,
then
you
she's
know
gone.
what's fucking hilarious?
With sewage, all the sewage at Bravo.
It's like a fucking parody. I mean, it'll be funny if she gets like stabbed on the way down. She falls down a flight of stairs. She's like, it's stabbed. Oh, it's stabbed. She gets stabbed by fucking impaled by a fucking pole. But she pulls it out, falls down into the river. It's like, oh, I got some soup. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like, how are you still living? Somebody needs to get that from the Grinch. I'd probably have to do that. It's like, are you still living?
And then you see Daenerys get stabbed by a little pointy thing. She dies instantly. Oh, well, you know.
Oh,
I guess
not just
it's
Daenerys,
but-
but Bruce Bolton too.
It was in her upper chest. It wasn't in her stomach. You can heal from gut wounds, even if it's repeated.
Oh, wait a minute.
Like,
wow,
wow,
unless you're Robert Baratheon, unless you're him,
or unless like you're Talisa, who died like by getting gut stabbed an equal number of times, I think.
Who did?
Talisa, Rob's wife.
Oh yeah. That lady.
So, yeah, it's kind of just like, oh my gosh, like, wow.
it depends.
Maisie
It's plot
powers.
dependent.
Yeah, plot armor. Well, apparently, according to Preston Jacobs, Arya is Wolverine. So, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense now. I mean, headcanon is a very powerful thing, you know.
What did I miss?
Not much.
Nothing. Just bullshit. You just missed a bunch of bullshit. That's all. Moving on.
Yeah, because there's an intimacy coordinator with the Lord of the Rings show, and it's just like, this is pointless. Why? So
intimate.
Maisie Williams. We wanted people to think this could be the end. Arya was very emotional and been very emotional for a long time. We wanted to bring in the emotion. Very first time. It's the first time she's not going to make it, and it's scary. She ends people's life like there's no tomorrow, but when it's happening to her, she's petrified of dying. She's got so much more to do, and just the anger. The waif, really, of all people. Yeah, makes sense.
It's a fucking Terminator for some reason. It's like,
yeah. Staging a chase. Ace included a discussion about Arya's abilities. Really?
Abilities. They turned the faceless men into fucking ninjas some reason.
Yeah.
Which they were never supposed to be ninjas.
Remember, it could have been worse.
They're just supposed to be expert poisoners that make it look like an accident.
It was an accident.
Yeah.
No,
like,
now there's super duper flippy assassin dudes who can do all the things.
Like, they're not assassin from
fucking Assassin's Creed.
From freaking Marco Polo.
No, Assassin's Creed is. Yeah, there's any Assassin's and Assassin's Creed are kind of different in those terms of styles.
So the
acrobatics are the same.
Oh, you know that Assassin comes from hashish, right?
Yeah, since it's the drug that they all
smoked,
because
not exactly.
What?
What? Not exactly. I have played Assassin's Creed games. These Assassins are different. They're an order, but they're an order that
acrobatics.
Their entire thing is not being seen.
Well, the thing is, like, we're referring to the assassin, the people who originated the word assassin, who are from the Middle East. They were trained by this guy called the Old Man of the Mountain, who
but they were all stoned.
Yeah, well, they wanted to get back to paradise.
The Asani Sabah, right?
Yeah. So they would smoke this hashish, then the old man of the mountain would take them into this room, this garden in the palace, and with really, really hot women and the best food and this beautiful place. And he's told, this is paradise. And the way to get back to paradise is to do what the old man of the mountain says.
Okay.
So a cult, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. So, how much of a super assassin is Arya Stark exactly? You should have asked that question earlier. But
Wait, is they actually going to bring that up? Holy
yeah,
shit!
that's an actual question. How in the script, staging the chase included a discussion about Arya's abilities. How much of a super assassin is Arya Stark exactly? She had
When they're totally aware of that, you failed.
Yeah.
You failed at the faceless man pot.
Yeah. She had her ever-evolving kill list from which she would personally cross off 3 names: Meryn Trant, Polliver, and Walder Frey. Williams always preferred to keep her character grounded.
Yeah, then she has a pep talk from the Hound, and she's completely like, nah, I don't need to kill her.
Also, there's the grounded of, you're surviving a gut stab.
Yeah, she got stabbed by a million times. I think she can handle a falling building.
Yeah,
she does survive fire and falling buildings.
Question. Yeah, it's like a just question, my liege. Okay, so after this, I'm going to work. Grabbing clips. Since
Wouldn't
I've got
it be a riot if she got decapitated and put her head back on?
Makes sense.
That'd be fun. You could now do the thing where you actually find Robb Stark's body, which has been defiled and had its head chopped off, and a wolf's head replacing it. And is probably one of the most gross things I've seen on television, apart from
it's just Robb Stark's head on a wolf body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, it's White Wolf. Oh wait,
that sounds like the Aquatic Man from.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention. What did you just say?
A wolf's head on a man's head on a wolf's body. So basically, you.
No, and also that's disgusting.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's something that'll give you night terrors.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like dreaming of alien turkeys that bite people's head off.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I am saying it from experience of having dreamt that once.
Weird.
Ouch.
I couldn't look at turkey the same way again.
Indeed. Indeed. Maisie Williams, I wanted to look like she was struggling, so there were a lot of times where I was like, I don't want to do that. In the later seasons, I took control a bit more because I knew that Arya a lot better than a lot of the directors. She knew it better than the writers.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I'd ask, why would she run over there? She'd just duck over there. She'd just duck under here and just get out. It doesn't look quite as cinematic, but you'll have to find something else if you want cinematic. I felt awful because the job of the Sun guys is to make everything look crazy cool as possible, but you want to be happy with the work you've done. So Arya's
it's like they like to please themselves by being a grounded medieval fantasy. Grounded, which is the word I like to say, but yet they want to do all these crazy stunts and shit. And like, pick one, please.
Yeah, pick one.
I think another thing is grounded. Yeah, I think another thing about it is just the fact that, like, I like the fact that Maisie Williams is kind of like, no, we shouldn't do this. I like the fact that she's saying that. I like the fact that Maisie Williams is showing some backbone. I think that's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Brian Cogman, it's always a struggle in the writing and in the shooting of the Arya scenes. How much ninja warrior versus how much humanity? Faceless men aren't ninja warriors. They're poisoners. They make dogs go nuts and kill their masters by feeding them special poisons that make them go nuts.
You'll explain why I once had a blackout memory. Once I found out I was covered in blood of 3 families.
It sounds like a personal issue. Anyways.
Actually, no, that was also explain why I dropped the Chaos Space Marines investigating people.
Okay, so the idea was that Arya was losing her sense of self. Maisie was adamant about preserving her humanity, and she really appreciated the final season where Arya finally gets found about balance of both. Maisie Williams, we had so many different takes of emerging out of the water for the first time she was stabbed. I had been to a music festival, so I hadn't slept the whole weekend. Dang. I was sleeping in the Irish Sea for I was jumping in the Irish Sea for a million different takes. It was a totally manic day. We wanted it to be really frantic and panic, but she's also a fighter. There's this constant spectrum of how petrified Arya needs to look. Interesting. This pit's kind of like weird. This bit's kind of weird. Okay. Arya outwitted the waif by luring her into a pitch black room where all those blind training sessions gave Arya a much needed edge. Killing the waif served as Arya's unsanctioned graduation from the House of Black and White. I don't think it works that way, considering the actor himself doesn't know what was going on in the scene.
That's just your opinion.
Yeah.
No,
the actor actually said that, so it's not my opinion.
But it's opinion because I said so. There's no logic to it, but you have to accept it.
Yeah, it's just your opinion that they said that.
Yeah, everything's subjective, don't you know? Gee.
Well, the thing is, I actually have a counter for that. It's
a lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
Opinions?
No, that's not an opinion. It's a fact.
And the dragon does not concern the opinions of the lions.
Yep, the dragon feeds on both horse and lions and lambs alike.
Well, thing is, this one's a lion as big as a mountain and killed a bunch of dragons already. So
yeah,
I hear PFG Division playing in the background.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing: the guy who played Jack and Hagar was asked, "So why is he smiling at Arya leaving?" And he's like, "I have no idea."
Oh, that's
like
nice.
you said it again. I didn't catch that.
The actor literally said, was asked, what is the final scene of Jack and Hagar mean? And he's like, I have no idea. I was just told to smile. As she left.
Okay, wow. This is part of the whole pattern where they don't tell actors why they're doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just working along.
Yeah.
Just do what we tell you. You don't need to know why you're doing it. Just do it.
Hey guys, we got Star Wars to do. Let's run this shit along so we can get to that. Oh, we got fired.
Well, the thing is, season 6 kind of has a lot of filler, which is weird, and that it takes the longest to get going, and it's got a pretty explosive and bombastic ending. And season 7's a breakneck pace.
What season 7? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, season 6 is actually like if the show had just ended at season 6, I think probably people would be like, well, that didn't make a whole lot of sense, but it was satisfying, sort of. There isn't really a conclusive ending to anything, but it's at least more satisfactory.
I prefer season 6 ending over season 7. That White Hunt was just too much for me.
Well,
that was too much
season
retarded.
7 directly feeds into season 8, unfortunately.
Most of the time, I actually consider them both the same thing.
Yeah, they kind of are.
It's just they're both a cascade of shit and retardation.
Yeah.
Mike
Milan, the director. I got some stick from some of the fans for some of the chase scene. I never managed to get the right energy into the shooting of it. It was functional, but wasn't great. But I loved what was written in the script in terms of Maisie's character using the weapon in her blindness, turning her weakness into strength against the waif. I think that worked well. I guess. Back in Westeros, Arya's brother Bran had been carried and dragged by Holdor up and down the continent season after season.
Oh no, they're going to talk about the direwolf scene, aren't they?
which was particularly arduous because for Kirsten Narn, aren't given his back injury that he had gotten in season 1 from carrying Bran around from way too many takes.
You would think they would get a double by this point.
Well, the thing is, like, it's kind of the thing of, like, with season 8, when, like, Rory McCann is, like, looking like he's going to pass out from fighting for quite a while.
How much did they film?
Enough that he now has permanent back injury.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Because he didn't actually. I don't feel like he fought all that much in the actual.
No, it's not that he fought. It's that he was carrying.
Oh, I was talking about the other guy in season 8.
Well, in season 8, Roy McCann, it was like, it's not that he fought a lot. It was that on that scene, they were doing so many takes of that fight that he was getting exhausted and looked like he was going to pass out.
God damn, these guys are really dumb, aren't they? They can't even fucking.
Yeah. Like, he's just leaning against a pillar, just like looking like he's about to pass out because he's exhausted. So, and like even like brought up earlier in this book, Kirsten Narn was carrying around Isaac Hempstead Wright up and down a hall so many times that he actually sustained permanent back injury. Like, he had to go to a chiropractor and still is suffering from it to this day.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Isaac. I think Isaac said that he's still paying the chiropractor payments.
Mm-hmm.
They jolly well better have workers' comp for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
David Dan should be paying for that shit, not Isaac.
Yeah, really.
Isaac Hempstead Wright. Bran's mode of transport changed over the years. First it was a sled, then a wheelbarrow, then a backpack. It sounds so spoiled to complain about we literally wheeled that around all day, but the wheelbarrow was kind of a nightmare. Kirsten 9, Hodor. No matter what they did, it never got easier. People think the sleigh was easy, but it was not. But it was a proper sleigh. I wasn't on ice or snow, but grass and terrain. The easiest was having him on my back, and I think he would have stayed there if he hadn't kept growing. It had gotten ridiculous, where his legs were almost dragging on the ground. Because like he had a giant growth spurt. This kid, like, he's really tall now.
I forgot, what did they do in the books? Didn't he like was on elk or something?
No, that was Cold Hands. I think he was still being carried around by Hodor. Then
you'd think they would conjure up some random wildling or something, do some changes to help out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Then Bran underwent a major transformation where he became the Three-Eyed Raven, a wizard who could potentially see all past and future events.
Oh, I have an idea. Sorry.
Really, this sort of is part of it.
Oh, done. I had an idea. You've seen The Walking Dead, right?
Nope.
Oh, there was this one part with the there was the black lady with the katana with the Japanese sword. Just to say,
Michonne.
Yeah,
I know she's Denai Guerrero. She's also Okoye in Black Panther.
Yeah, and like she was in the beginning of the show, she had two zombies with their hands and mouth cut off, and she had them like drag around things. I'm like, I wonder if Brandon and them could have done the same thing.
Maybe. Yeah. Isaac Stretch.
Yeah.
And have them carry Bran or something.
Doesn't sound
awful. The weirdest part is, like, he's saying, like, a wizard who could potentially see all past and future events. In parentheses, well, sort of.
No, I mean, the way they imply it sounded like he was doing everything. Like it was all part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan.
Do I look like I have a plan?
Part of what? What's this P word you people are talking about now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's just maddeningly unhelpful. Why are these things never clear?
Yeah, they never have a plan.
Basically.
They just kind of wind it.
Yeah. So, but this isn't like that bad, especially not compared to like the Morocco, the
explosives
in Morocco.
Let's
this is kind of just like or even worse, like the poor people, like the poor girl fainting from cold because she's wearing barely anything and it's icy cold, or Kirsten Nine receiving permanent back injury from the show because they just did way too many takes of him carrying Bran around.
Yeah.
Or people falling off cliffs almost. Oh, here's one from the Johan. Plans are for losers.
Plan. All hail, king of the losers.
It's
King of the wheelchairs. The wheelchair that will
hashtag
mount
Brad
the
is big
world.
nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Game of Thrones if Bran was.
And I'm a nerd saying this, and he's a nerd.
If Bran gaining power wasn't accompanied by a tragic loss. The moment of his transformation was paired with one of the saddest deaths in the show, where Hodor perished as he was helping Bran escape an attack from the Night King and the army of the dead.
He came from Bran to Bran 9000. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see his further character development. Oh, wait.
Is what?
Kirsten Narn. With Game of Thrones, nothing was ever certain, and I made it, and that I made that far was pretty good. Ned Stark only made it to episode 9. I couldn't have asked for a better goodbye. Bran uses, while in the cave, Bran uses seer powers to travel to the past and see Hodor's young boy, then named Willis. In the present, the army of the dead attacks. Hodor was ordered to hold the door to allow Bran and Mira Reed, played by Ellie Kendrick, to escape. While back in his vision, Willis has an epileptic-like fit, repeating "hold the door" over and over. Gradually, the phrase morphed into one word, Hodor, which became...
Did they just glance over the dog?
Here's one in the chat. Here's one in the chat. Sorry. Bran the blank stare.
Yeah.
Wow, they just glanced over fucking Summer dying. Fucking
yeah.
Fun.
Oh, what? I didn't even remember that bit. I kind of forgot.
No.
Hodor spent years loyally looking after Bran, saving him countless times, while it was Bran who was inadvertently responsible for his friend's mental rehabilitation. Martin conceived Hodor's backstory while writing the first book in the saga, and it was one of the ideas he told the show's producers during their season 3 meeting in Santa Fe.
It was one of his ideas, quote unquote. So that means it maybe is a current idea, or you can interpret that in a way.
Yeah.
One of his many ideas.
Yeah, we're about to
Just think about that.
We're actually going to get George R. R. Martin's thoughts.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So, George R. R. Martin, it's an obscenity to go into someone's mind. So, Bran may be responsible for Hodor's simplicity due to going to his mind so powerfully that rippled back through time. The explanation of Bran's power is the whole question of time and causality. Can we affect the past? Is time a river that you can sail one way, or an ocean that can be affected wherever you drop into it? These are issues I want to explore in the book, but it's harder to explain in the show. Mm-hmm. Isaac Hempstead, right. We learned how sad it is, what Hodor has become. He really is a vulnerable soul who had such potential to live a happy life. Through Bran's selfish actions, not picking up that he should get out of the dream and going to the White Walker vision in the first place, I've screwed him over. Then he sacrificed himself. You've been through all this, and you're still having to do this. It's mortifying. Bran would be nowhere without him. It encapsulates the Game of Thrones world. The nice guys who deserve looking after don't always get it. The weirdest part is Bran isn't really being selfish, as far as I recall. He just kind of stays in the dream, and while the three-eyed raven gets killed, and I don't understand that scene at all. I don't think that Bran was being selfish. I think that Bran just was there for a split second too long before getting out, and then I really just don't understand what this meant.
Yeah, especially like the Night King, that scene where it breaks the barrier and stuff.
Yeah. My favorite part, Kirsten and I, my favorite part was the question of why Hodor is Hodor. Why does he say the word Hodor? It's incredibly sad. The minute you finally learn something about Hodor, they kill him. Martin said Hold the Door scene is a forthcoming book that will play out a bit differently than the show. George R. R. Martin, I thought they executed it very well, but there are differences in the book. They did very physical hold the door with Hodor's strength. In the book, Hodor has stolen one of the old swords from the crypt. Bran has been orgying to Hodor and practicing in his body because Bran has been trained in swordplay. So telling Hodor to hold the door is more like hold this pass, defend it while enemies are coming, and Hodor is fighting and killing them. A little different, but same idea. Okay. Thrones offered to...
Spoiler.
Thrones opted to have Hodor use his strength to block the door because he was agonizingly stabbed by the white's skeletal bones, which helped communicate the concept of hold the door in a literal way.
Wait, they're stabbing him with their bones?
Yeah, that part's weird because, like...
Isn't it knives? I thought it was knives they were stabbing them with, and swords and shit.
I don't know. Dave Hill, co-producer.
Who remembers any of that?
For our purpose, holding the door was visually better, especially because we had so much fighting. Kirsten and I had tears in my eyes watching it. I don't see myself on screen. I see Hodor. I could always talk about him in third person. I just saw the character die, and it was very sad. Isaac Hempstead, right. Of course, Bran was just a warg the whole time. There were a couple times I literally fell asleep shooting it, just lying in a comfy sweat. Yeah, that seems like it would be pretty easy. Kirsten Hart, there were rumors of bringing Hodor back as a White Walker, and that would have been awesome, but I'm happy with the storyline. I like they left a bit of mystery there. We don't know what happened to him.
He became a white. It's kind of obvious. Why would they waste that?
Yeah. Dan Weiss, Hodor is the one word you can say to everybody and immediately evoke the show or books. He'd been quietly there in Bran's storyline, being lovable while delivering the heck out of so many Hodors. Kirsten 9, there was a Hodor that I really like, where Mira and I were talking about sausages. This guy loves sausages, clearly, and bacon. His face lit up, and he started talking about food. I also enjoyed the Hodor in season 3 with Osha, and she's complaining about having to build the camp, and he did this. Why are you telling me? Type Hodor. Hodor. That was a fun one. I can't really believe I can isolate 2 Hodors from all those times. Another character that, like Bran, that spent a lengthy stretch of time off camera was the Hound. The weary Clegane brother had survived his fight with Brienne and had joined a pacifist religious community led by Brother Ray, played by Ian McShane, the dude who says, the owner of the Continental Hotel in John Wick, who says, like you tried to kill someone on my grounds, shoot that person in that frickin' head 5 ways. 5 people shoot you in the head. I love that shot. That is so fun. That is so awesome. Who lent the Hounds insight such as violence is a disease. You can't cure a disease by spreading it to more people. This sequence is a rare standalone mini-story. That Witness sub-movie, as Malad called it, within the larger Game of Thrones narrative. There's also a glimpse into the type of storytelling the series might have regularly included if the show had continued long beyond season 8.
Well, they could have gone longer, but
it could have gone longer,
but we didn't. We could have had time, but you didn't. But you could have, but you didn't.
We could have not have run out. We could have not skipped the source material, but we didn't.
Just give the show to somebody else who was not
It's like they do, and it's like a million times better than like season 3 and 4.
Yeah. Brian Cogman. It was my favorite week on Game of Thrones because it was a beautiful little 3-act play shot on Cairn Castle. We'd done episodes mainly about one thing before, but they were action episodes. Here you had this New Age sept led by a man with a painful history of violence. He found his own flock trying to rebuild their lives. He had this powerful philosophy that I wish more characters had. I don't know if my God is the real God, but I just know that we need to believe in something greater than ourselves.
Did they call it a New Age cult? I'm sorry.
New Age sept.
That's always so weird about the Game of Thrones universe. Like, they have this mystical power that obviously exists, but there's no higher power. like the ambiguity.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how that works.
My assumption is that basically, like, the religions evolved out of the powers that just naturally occur in people. The old gods, like the wargs, are just are kind of like a lot of people just kind of like that's the religion of the old gods, nature and stuff.
Is it just me, or is New Age really anachronistic here?
Yeah, it's very anachronistic. Yeah. You see Sandor
Like,
as a
all that
candidate.
power has to come from somewhere. That's not
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really would have to.
Yeah, unless we go with Preston Jacobs' theory that A Song of Ice and Fire is really sci-fi and that Valyria was basically destroyed in a nuclear explosion, or that
Didn't George deny that?
I think he did. Yeah,
So that's out of the question.
Yeah. Yeah. He sees Sandor as a candidate for this. He recognized in Sandor a bit of himself. The Hound, apart from being grateful, started to open up to the first and only friend he's ever had. The scenes have a light touch, gentleness, and humanity, and humor that you don't find in the show. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. But it was very much on purpose. It didn't feel like Thrones tonally until the end when Raiders ride in and everyone gets slaughtered. In some ways, it sticks out. Some people have trouble with that episode because it didn't feel like an episode of Game of Thrones. I like it for
What
that
episode was that?
The Broken Man. I think it was...
Oh, you mean like the only good part of like season 7?
Season 6, actually.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the Hound where he buries the corpse. I was like,
that's a different one. That's season 7. This is when we first get introduced back to the Hound. So, fans wondered why the group's leader had such an un-Westerosi name. When the episode was scripted, Brother Ray was secretly a nod to the writer's first choice to play the role, actor Ray Winstone. Oh, okay. I like Ray Winstone. He's an excellent Mr. Badger in Narnia, but he's also a good Bors in the Clive Owen historical King Arthur movie. So that would have been an interesting choice.
What episode or scene are we talking about?
I believe it's season. I think it's I think it's season. I think it's episode 4 of season 6, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen season 6 in its entirety. I've watched all the scenes though. So let's keep going. Ray was a blend of a few characters in George's book. We thought it would be interesting. It was a Hound-like bruiser sort of guy. So Ray Winstone was the guy we were thinking about. I'm sure overturns were made to Ray Winstone. I was the one who thought of Ian McShane, and I'll be proud of that till the day I die. Mike Millard. Ian McShane was a force of nature. He's gone down in Game of Thrones crew folklore as the person who most improved the catering. His lunch was brought to him and he disliked his burger, so he kicked it and went flying and had a few choice words of what he thought of the burger.
Oh, good lord.
What was that? Say that again, sorry.
He disliked the burger so much that he kicked it and it went flying and had a few choice words about what he thought of the burger. It gets better.
So who is this chap? Is this the Brother Ray chap?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
That must have been some nasty burger. Holy shit.
Well, the burger whacked into Rory McCann, who was enjoying his burger and had no complaints.
Because he got his second one?
Maybe. I don't know. A few days later, we
got
had
a
a new
second one.
caterer who was brilliant. So thanks, Ian. Man, this is hilarious.
Okay.
Even more hilarious. Famously, McShane was accused by fans of spoiling the Hound's return to the show during an interview. The actor then dismissed Thrones altogether as a show about tits and dragons.
That's what it actually became.
Yeah.
Well, no, the tits part actually kind of died down during the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, there weren't really.
Yeah, it was
there's
more
only,
these performances, these faces,
And we
instead
started
of
as
these tits.
plotline.
yeah, there's only like one like scene I would be like covering my child's eyes as if.
Oh,
well,
it's season 6, episode 7, which
Oh,
all of
season-
season 6
oh.
is just a blur to me at this point.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
you wouldn't want your child watching any of Game of Thrones, really.
No, but like I
No.
mean, like there's no like porn bits other than one scene in season 8, and that's it. And then like there's like two, I think, in season 7.
I mean, yeah, you don't want your child to watch that because you don't want them to become stupid.
Yeah.
It's none of the graphics or anything. It's just everything's so dumb.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to fry their brains so young.
Yeah. So Mike Malad, I was surprised by Ian McShane saying that. I think he was being defensive because he was accused of giving away spoilers. A typical Ian style defense is defense through attack. I never took it personally. Down at King's Landing, Cersei reclaimed control of the city in most spectacular fashion in the 6th season finale. She didn't simply kill them, kill her faith militant enemies. She blew up their entire house of worship along with the imprisoned Marjorie and Laura Tyrell for good measure.
And
then
no consequences.
Yep. Finn Jones. I got scripts for 1 through 9 and read them out loud and stuff. Cool. I've only got episode 10 to come, and I felt really positive. There's only one more. Then, and it was the evening before we got to the table reading. They were holding back episode 10. I was like, why didn't I see episode 10 yet? That's really weird. It's 5 p.m. And we're doing it tomorrow. Why haven't I received it yet? Wait. You're shooting episode 10 and you're giving this guy a day to memorize his lines. Admittedly, there's not much. But yeah, that's really weird that you were holding a script. That's really strange. Just as I was saying that, I got a call from David and Dan. I'm like picking up. I'm positive, thinking they're going to be checking in to say, and then they're like, dead silence. I was like, oh gosh, no! I was so close to season 7. Natalie Dormer. I preempted the phone call because in true Natalie Dormer style, I tried to fit 1,000,001 projects in a single year. I requested David and Dan release me earlier the previous year so I could do something. They were like, we weren't going to tell you this for a few more months, but we're not going to release you now, so you can't do that job you really want to do, and we're really sorry about that. But on the bright side, we're going to release you proper in the not too so distant future. Dan Weiss, except we forgot to tell Jonathan Price that he dies too.
Well, we kind of forgot.
You have to tell Jonathan Price that he dies.
What?
Oh,
Say that again.
my.
Say that again. I'm
Oh
sorry.
God, good
Say that
Lord.
again.
Well, David Benioff kind of forgot that he died.
Dan Weiss, except we'd forgotten to tell Jonathan Price that he dies too, the High Sparrow guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they have to keep saying I kind of forgot. It's like such a
Yeah.
fucking meme.
Yeah,
we
it
were
is
at-
a fucking meme. God.
Oh my gosh, Neph's cursing.
We were at the read through, and Brian.
I can't
was
watch this
heading
podcast.
his
There's too much cursing.
directions, the High Sparrow is engulfed in green flames, and Jonathan goes, "No!" His reaction to being told he was going to die play out in front of 60 people. Dang.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yep.
He found out in public, just like Emilia Clarke did later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really shit.
Well, he found at the table read. She found out when she watched the show.
Yeah, she found out at the charity event. That was just disgusting.
Yep. Yeah, this was like I thought this. Yeah, this was actually like, oh wow, we only have
It was not insufferable.
Yeah. This isn't like this is just like kind of like typical. The finale ended with poetic sequence, with poetic sequence that showed them preparing for the long-awaited trial at the Sept Baylor, or in Cersei's case, preparing not to go to the trial, instead go to war. The really good score marked the first time that a piano had been used in the show, a choice that cued the view into something unique was about to occur. Dave held the idea that everyone was getting ready for the trial. Miguel Sapochnik idea, spent a lot of time putting on the armor and the bracelets. The original temp score he put in was real close to what we ended with. David and Dan told Jameen something like this temp score. Interesting. At the Sept, Loras demanded to further humiliation as the High Sparrow ordered the cult's 7-pointed star carved into his forehead. They're not a cult. They're the actual religion. They're the actual state religion. I don't think they count as a cult.
No, I don't think they would.
What do you
Not
think,
if they're the official religion of the country.
What do you think, Valerian? Would you count the sparrows as a cult, or would you, or like, are they just Faith of the Seven extremists?
They're just religious nut jobs.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be in a cult to be a religious nut job.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the
That's
Covenant
the
from
thing.
Halo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody's about to arrest us. Oh dear.
Oh no!
No.
The Benioff, please. Me.
Oh, in that case, well, where do you live again?
California.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's just
Yeah,
the
that does.
yeah, that's just the that's just the state police coming to take you away for having wrong think.
Oh no!
See you.
Oh dear.
See you in the gulag.
See you in the gulag.
See ya, comrades. We all share the same cell.
So, Tim Jones, the character
There is no cell. Everyone is prisoner.
Or the character, i.e., Loras, was wild and desperate. He's been in a cell for 2 months, no toilet. He's having to crap, pee, eat, and drink in a tiny little space with no light, away from his family, not knowing what's going on. He's scared and doubting himself. All he knew was his sister, who he's relied on, has always been on his side. He was just begging her to help him. He wasn't Sir Loras, the gleaming knight of flowers, who all the girls want to marry and all the dudes want to be anymore. Would have been nice if we'd actually seen this on screen. I don't remember this in the show.
What is he saying again? I missed it.
He's talking about like all this thing related to his character, that like he's scared, doubting himself. All I knew is his sister was on his side. He was begging her to help him. He's not Sir Loras, the Knight of Flowers. We aren't really seeing any of, as far as I remember, we aren't seeing Loras's perspective very much in this.
Oh yeah, the guy that was supposed to be really good at fighting, but never
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
Or he's just gay for some reason, so he sucks.
Well, I mean, yeah, his character is
Assassinated.
like one-dimensional at best in the show.
He is just the token gay guy.
Eve.
And they overdid that too.
Yeah.
Vastly.
He says he's like not just the gay guy. It's actually kind of subtle that he's gay in the books.
Yeah, you could blink and miss it in the books.
Yeah. Other than the apparently he has like a bunch of gay pornography, like just
In the show or in the books?
in the books. Like there's a moment where he says like Renly had this book that would make a Septon's eyes bug out of his head.
Oh, I'm glad I don't remember that part.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's in Crown of Swords. I think it's Storm of Swords. That's what it's in.
Yeah.
So Marjorie began to insist on it was wrong. Cersei wasn't there. There must be a good reason. Nellie Dormer, the reason why it all goes tits up because Marjorie was in control of the battle against Cersei. She had to hand over the reins to the High Sparrow, and Cersei outplayed it. Marjorie was a victim of the High Sparrow's incompetence. He underestimated Cersei, and that's something Marjorie would never do. That's correct. Marjorie became one of the show's most tragic characters. She did everything to win in the game. She had a powerful family led by a cunning matriarch, multiple opportunities to become queen, whip smart mind, and an ability to read people and situations and act accordingly. She was also very kind, though not foolishly so. Her fatal flaw was something that was out of her control. She was spectacularly unlucky. Huh.
Fair enough.
She was given a moment. Natalie Dormer. I've been given a moment of some vindication at the very end, which is the perfect way for Marjorie to leave the show. She's been given a platform to say she was right. She always was. I was grateful for those last nights. She worked out before anyone else, as she always does. And they gave me that beautiful exit where I was like, come on, guys, catch up. And then shebang. I kind of wish that I could hear some of this audibly because it sounds like a lot of this would be hilarious.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Brian Cogman. Natalie originally had one more line of dialogue that was cut from the edit. She said to the High Septon, "You fool, she beat you." That was Natalie's original last line, and then it blew up. I suspect it was deemed unnecessary because it's implied. Natalie was as good as anyone alive at conveying an unnecessary bit of dialogue. Okay. In the catacombs below the script, Lancel Lannister tried desperately to prevent the catastrophe. His legs disabled, Lancel crawled along the floor trying to reach Cersei's hidden wildfire stash before it ignited. Here's my question. Why not just kill him? Because he could possibly why did the kid not just cut off his hand, actually stab him? Because he could have ruined the whole thing. He was very, very close, and it's just kind of luck that he didn't.
Like, what if he did, and like Cersei's playing with the shit? He's like, oh well, because then the show might actually last longer, I guess.
And the whole problem that Cersei blew up the Vatican and nobody cares wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of interesting because like if Cersei plan didn't go right, it could show like how incompetent she is.
You know what would have been funnier if she just said actually would have been better than blowing up, just having crossbowmen go in and just murder everybody. That probably would have been better, honestly.
Because at least some people could potentially survive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I think just going with swords because they're all unarmed and saying no, saying no, I don't care, go in, kill all of them, I don't care anymore.
And then capture Tyrell's and then do Cersei do her Cersei things in the
it
prison
wouldn't look
stuff.
as cool though when they blew up the Sept. It looked way cooler.
Indeed. So Eugene Michael Simon, the guy who plays Lancel Lannister. That catacomb corridor was just as long as it looks, about 30 meters, no CGI, and bats live down there, so it's covered in bat crap. I was calling all the way over and over, and I was determined not to even move a toe below the waist because Lancel's spinal cord had been severed. How? Apparently spinal cord had been severed? I thought he was just hamstrung, they cut his legs. How does a kid have enough raw strength to cut somebody's spine?
I don't know. Unless he got between the discs.
Maybe he got between the discs. That's a
You'd have to be very precise to do that though.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you're doing.
And it's
my god, the kid is a Mary Sue.
You could possibly get lucky, but it's a very small margin between each of the discs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so highly unlikely, but it is possible.
Yeah.
Spinal cords. I love how her reaction. What the? I was
yeah.
I don't remember. I thought he just fell to the ground. I didn't remember his spine was severed. That's interesting.
And well, if you cut at the back of someone's ankles, they cannot walk anymore because you've gotten their Achilles tendon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same.
Yeah. Wow, it's
reaction.
That's a tiny margin of error.
Yeah.
Wow, that
It's
is.
doable, but
it's in this already contrived sequence. Yeah, this scene is very contrived.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this part's interesting, but by the end, I was so exhausted, I was literally frothing on the mouth, and the ground was covered in blood, crap, sweat, and a few tears. They put petroleum on top of the quote-unquote wildfire. When the fire went off, it burned off my eyebrows, and I could smell my own burnt hair.
That kind of reminds me of Arnold getting his eyebrows burnt off in the first Terminator movie.
Miguel Sapochnik told me, when the fire goes, I want you to have this minuscule breath, almost childlike, like, oh no. Lance was a pretty broken person at the end, but he really did not want to die and really did not want Cersei to win. The power play was the last straw for the sensitive young King Tommen. He was betrayed by his mother, lost his wife, was a pivotal authority. In a chilling scene, Tommen maneuvered about his chambers, numb and defeated. He momentarily walked out of frame with the camera in view, waiting for him to return. When he did, he stepped onto the ledge without hesitation and fell face first into it in a suicidal plunge, which kind of looks really funny when you're looking at it. It silently just goes, walks
He just
up
takes
to
off his crown, opens the window, and it just it's like
And
it's
there's
something
all-
like how the IT crowd with how it opens up
Yeah.
in the second episode in the second season, where it's just Denham just says, "Okay, go out the room," and then he just opens the window, just casually takes a step out.
Mm-hmm.
And like Cersei has no reaction to it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh.
the TV show Cersei. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Does it get worse? Does it get better?
It gets worse, yeah.
Does it get effing better?
Yeah, it does get effing better. That was in the script. You don't know why the shot is holding on the window, even though the character is gone. Right at the side of the window was a bunch of cardboard boxes. Dean, being a teenager and invincible, did take falling face first. The hardest part was overcoming that natural human instinct to move your hands or turn your face. Cersei also got her revenge on her tormentor subject Unella, but what viewers saw on screen was not the show's original plan. Cersei, Lena Headey, it was so filthy. I didn't think people will help going yes. We'll help going yes. It's so depraved. It was meant to be worse, but they couldn't do it. That was the tame version. Originally, Hannah Watt. Yeah.
Did they show him splat or something?
No. Originally, Hannah Waddingham, the lady who played Annella, apparently, originally she was going to get raped by the Mountain on camera.
I was afraid of that when you said that. When you said that, I was
He's a
afraid of that.
zombie.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess he's like Edward from Twilight, where his semen is venom.
What?
Let's
fuck?
no comment.
That's an actual,
Carry on, please.
that's an actual
Let me see here.
thing in Breaking Dawn.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I think I asked about you. Can you please repeat what you just said? For a few minutes?
No, don't bother. Don't bother. It doesn't matter.
I think I may need to call a crusade right quick. I think I may need to start praying to God now.
Okay.
Moving right along, please.
Except nobody had told Waddingham's scene had been changed until she was on set and tied to a table. What?
What the?
Okay, that's
told.
neglect right there.
Oh my god, that's almost like they were gonna do fucking Sansa 2.0 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The substituted tame version ended up being a rather torturous experience, quite literally. And Waddingham, they instead decided to have her waterboarded. But I didn't know that until I was lying on the torture table. Wow. Wow, that's
They didn't literally waterboard her, did they?
No, they just had her pour water on her.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure with these people. I wasn't with this law. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's
Did you
6 to 1, half dozen the other.
Yes, I did. I needed to. 1 second. I actually have something for this eventuality.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's not a bad one. It's just sorry, I couldn't resist. Yeah, it's just
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
It's like
Yeah.
okay. It's like
Yeah.
okay. I'm,
Have you guys seen Willy's Wonderland yet?
Not yet.
No.
Maybe. All I knew
You should all watch it.
for this torture chamber, all I knew was I'd been given a wetsuit top in my trailer. So I put it on going. I don't know what this is for, but hey ho. So David Benioff and Dan Weiss came up to me while I'm strapped to the table. They go, hey, look, the script said Cersei empties the remainder for a glass of red wine onto Unella's face to wake her up. But the fans were expecting so much more brutality toward Unella, so it needs to be a full carafe of wine. So he spent the whole day with me being waterboarded. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Other than childbirth, this was the worst day of my life. Wow.
Oh.
The wine was getting poured in my face for 7 or 8 hours while they were getting every pass under the sun. Wow, that's a... Wow.
Wow. Is that really fucking this? It's like you only do like one take of that. Like, why do you have to do the 8 hours of that? Are they that incompetent with a fucking camera?
I think so.
Tell me your actors that horrible.
Yeah, it's one thing to keep that stuff from your audience, but your actors need to know what you're going to be, quote unquote, doing to them so they know how to act appropriately.
Remember, these guys are master storytellers. Everybody, just so you know.
Oh yeah. I keep kind of forgetting that these chaps are actually brilliant geniuses and know everything, and we're just a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. One of my friends' friend keeps defending the show. They keep saying that, you know why it makes sense why these scenes happened, because they wrote it that way. That's always their defense.
Oh,
that's
kind of circular, but yeah. Now that you put it that way,
it's about to get worse.
Oh crap!
It was basically. She describes it as it was basically like getting drowning while the rest of your body was dry. Ow. One of the crew came up and was like, Hannah, are you all right? Because we are actually waterboarding you. I'm all, you don't have to tell me that.
The thing about that waterboarding is actually not torture. It's uncomfortable, but it's not actual torture.
Well, actually, waterboarding is torture. It's horrible experience.
Well, I said it's uncomfortable. One of the
what they do is that they put your head in a bag and then shove water down it. It's not pleasant.
No, it's not.
Breathe it in, and it seeps right in through the bag.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like you're suffocating. It feels like you're suffocating and drowning without actually drowning, and it's almost like Chinese water torture. Basically, you're tied up and water's.
I would say the water torture is worse.
Well, it's just an advanced form of waterboarding, which is already in itself horrible.
Well, I don't know
which is
worse,
why I said it's worse.
Well, it's just I think the main thing from Chinese water torture is basically the tying up.
Let me see here. Chinese water torture.
Chinese
water torture. I get a meme. Okay. Chinese water torture is a painful process in which cold water is slowly dripped onto the face, onto the scalp, forehead, or face for a prolonged period of time, allegedly making the victim insane.
I would agree. I would agree with waterboarding is torture. It's not uncomfortable. It is actual torture.
Okay,
torture.
Whatever.
Well, it's not imagine you are drowning, but you can't die. You're still getting water through your mouth and air, but it's a torturous experience. Water torture is just you're dripping water onto your forehead.
Yes, but it's going to steadily driving you insane.
Yeah, water torture is constantly utilized in interrogation rooms.
There's plenty of torture methods you could go with. Sometimes you could just do the slow and steady pace and just slowly chop off their fingers.
Yeah, let's not get into the finer shades of it. It's you're doing nasty things to people.
Can we get off this topic, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was bored a long time ago.
I loved shooting that. Hannah was a joy. It didn't feel so great endlessly drowning her in wine, but we had a laugh.
That's very sadistic.
It is.
They had a laugh at her while this was going on?
No, Hannah and Lena had a laugh about the situation. Apparently.
Well, at least she was laughing too, but still.
Yeah.
I was about to say if like Benioff was laughing, I'm like, all right, carry on.
Hannah Waddingham. Thank goodness I love David and Dan, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity, but it was hideous. It literally gave me claustrophobia. Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, it's not funny if you develop something like a phobia from something like that.
Yeah, I had bruises all over, and I lost my voice from screaming. Lena kept going, I'm so sorry. I was like, wow, I've been thrown. And that's the end.
I've been thrown. What the fuck does that
This
mean?
entire thing.
Done. Explain what the hell thrown mean.
I don't know either. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Well, and guess the first line of the next one is tonal whiplash. We go from claustrophobia to Kit Harington took his shirt off. And that's the first line of the next chapter.
Is this going to next Monday, or are we doing something else? Are we doing this again?
Oh, we're still doing this. I just wanted to do the Jurassic Park one so we could do the Saurian Cinema tomorrow because it's gonna be fun.
I guess I'll have to join the fun. So that means we had to push Lord the Hobbit till Wednesday or something.
No, it was always going to be Wednesday.
Oh, okay, good. I'm like, that's my off day.
We're watching the sorry.
We're watching The Hobbit tomorrow.
Oh.
We're watching The Hobbit tomorrow evening, but we're having the stream a little bit earlier since at 11 at about 11 since I need to leave to go somewhere at 1:15. So
okay.
Yeah, the time is a bit confusing for me sometimes because like so
when he says a time, he means mountain time.
Yeah, you should probably specify that just in case that some random person in the chat has never.
11 MST, 1 p.m. EST, noon CST, and then.
So what is when are we watching The Hobbit? What time?
That would be at 6 MST.
So 8 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and maybe about 2 p.m. British time.
Mm-hmm.
Or Central European time. I get confused.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I thought your time zone was GMT.
Well, folks, this has been fun, but we must bid you adieu. This is
Bye.
Bye.